Welcome back, family. We are here for the top 10 of our collections. I've already done 11 through 50 in two different videos, but I wouldn't be doing the top 10 without my buddy. So, hey, I'm Rich,
I'm Greg.
and we're here from Team Ohana talking about the top 10 comic books in our respective collections. We're going to bounce it back and forth from 10, 10, 9, 9, 8, 8, all the way down to number one and show you what we've got. Remember, this is not a competition. This is just what we have in our collections.
Yeah, and I only joined for this part because I don't have nearly as many slabs as Rich does.
One of the books in my top 50, it took me like an hour to find it. So I'm going like, where the hell's it? Oh, there's another box over there of slabs. So believe me having that many slabs is not necessarily a good thing. Now I'm going to tell you how I rate my top books, and
Okay.
you can tell me how you rate yours. It is a combination, not just of monetary value, but also sentimental value, how hard it is to replace everything else. And the way I kind of explained it to people is, if the house was on fire and I had time to run in and get one book, and I go in, I get that book, I come back out, that's number one. Obviously, it was the most important one to me, with all things considered. If I get out and I'm like, I could still go get another one, I go in, that's number two.
Mm-hmm.
So on and on. So if I could make 50 trips, why am I only grabbing one book at a time? This is my explanation, not yours. You buy it. If your house is on fire, you grab what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
So that based on
You're like
that,
pushing firemen out of the way. I gotta get my book.
I gotta get one book. Dude, this is your 18th trip. Just get more.
Sir, you can't go in this thing. Shut up.
The next book belongs to the wife. I have to.
You don't understand.
No, the fireman would be like, yeah, we understand. Go get it. We're married too. So would you like to go first or second, sir?
I'll go first.
Okay.
So, this is book number 10 for me. This is Ratchet and Clank number 1, signed by James Arnold Taylor, who is super sweet, and honestly very surprised that I brought him this book, because everybody was there for Star Wars, obviously.
Yes.
But he did the voice of Ratchet in the games and the movie. It's not a super popular book, so that makes it really cool for me. And I love his signature. It's nice, and he put Ratchet there. I really want David Kay to do the same for Clank there.
Do you ever see him at shows?
He goes. I haven't had the opportunity yet.
That's what I meant. Do you ever see the fact that he does attend?
Yeah. He goes out. He does other voices as well. So he's on the circuit. I just haven't had the chance to meet him yet. But
Cool.
yeah, this was from Awesome Con last year. Last year. Jeez. This is next year now. Well, this year's whatever.
This is 2024. That's from Awesome Con of 2023.
Yes.
Yes. This way, if somebody's watching this video in 2027, they know what's going on.
All right. Yes. Thank you.
Hey, before I forget to let you know, because I have already, even though we were talking for 20 minutes, the book that got sent in by you for the signature book that you picked up and sent in for me,
Yeah.
it did get pulled back, and it went through CCS, and now it's going to grading. Yes.
Yay.
Customer service, CGC wins again, even though they're reholdering has had some issues. Their customer service is Johnny on the spot, and kudos to them.
For sure. And this is a original book, so it's not like there's any risk of any of that
Yes.
stuff. That's awesome.
All right, so let me hit my number 10, and I've done things a little bit different. If you watch the other two videos that I put up already, the 31 through 50 and the 11 through 30, I set up two cameras. This is the standard laptop camera, which is why I look grainy, but I did use the good camera set up on the side because, let's be honest, you're not here to see me, you're here to see the books. And if I remember which tab to click on, I think it was this one. Boom! Coming in at number 10 is my Gojira number 1. This is a book I wanted since I was a kid. Finally pulled the trigger in it in 2023. Got my 9.8 white page, and I got it before the hype for Godzilla -1 and Monarch and all the other fun stuff. So this was before the book exploded in price. It's settled a little bit, but it's still much higher than I paid. And with the movie coming out in springtime, I got a feeling it's going to go up again. But doesn't matter. I'm not selling it. This is a book like I said, I wanted since I was a kid, and I finally got it.
That was such great timing because it wasn't that much. I mean, it was pretty recently, right? Like a month or two ago.
What? That I got it?
Yeah.
No, I got that. I think in like August.
Oh, never mind.
Time flies, man. We're having fun.
That's true. All right. My number 9.
Number nine.
This was one of the first books that I had graded. And originally I was collecting all these homages of the Green Lantern cover where he's got all the rings and he's like, going power crazy. I forget I think it's 55 or something. But this book I got raw and I sent to a pressing and cleaning guy, and it came back a 9.8.
Ooh, nice.
This is, Green Lantern number 55, the incentive Lobo variant, where he's got all the different emotional rings on. And he says, I'm going to stick these rings where you can't see their light. And that's Lobo for you. But I don't know. I really like this book. There's only 10 9/8s that in existence. So I like that it's rare as well.
Awesome. We got to, if you don't mind, when you do other books, I'm going to do this.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, wait. I had to figure out which button it was. Yes. Awesome.
All right.
So I'm ready to show my number 9. While you were doing this, I switched. This was the book that I ended 2023 on Only Slabs, Rob's Fat Stacks of Comics. I showed him this book and actually got him to swear. It's not a key book, but it is a cool book. It is a nice World War II Captain America with an Alex Schomburg cover. Only a 0.5, but it is what it is. You're trying to get some real history here. This is still a World War II era. It's 1944, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's also known as referred to as a bondage cover because you got the two people that are tied up there. And I mean, look, I would love to get a higher grade than that, but there's only so much that I can spend on comic books. When I hit Powerball, I'll get higher grades. So it is Captain America number 38 from 1944.
That's fantastic. I almost like the roughness around the image of it, because it almost it puts it in 1944, almost. Obviously you would love a 9.8 or whatever of it, but
yeah, but you got to remember that all the books that was done at that time, they only had like 4 color inks to choose from. They didn't have the same printing methods as we have now, so the fact that they were able to get such covers to pop, I got to give them a lot of credit.
Oh, for sure. All right, my number 8 is
which button did I click for this now? Is it this one? There we go.
You're gonna notice a theme here. The Adventures of Toucan Sam, Kellogg Company, 1994.
I knew this was gonna be up there.
Not a great signature because it kind of blends in with the coat, but it's Maurice LaMarche, who's famous for playing the Brain in Pinky and the Brain. But you also didn't realize he was the voice of Toucan Sam from like 1986 to 2017 or something like that.
Wow,
so
long run.
Pretty much every time you heard "Follow Your Nose" on TV, that was Maurice LaMarche. So that alone is cool. What's cooler is the story that I've told on the channel before. But
I'm waiting to hear it again. I love it.
Yeah, in case you haven't heard it, I brought this up to him, and he was like, "Wow, I've never seen this before." and he was like, can I see it? And he started flipping. He put it on his like table because he liked to be out in front of his table, standing to like be with people and stuff.
Mm.
Sometimes those celebrities like they don't come out from behind unless you pay for like a selfie or something. But him and Rob Paulson just kind of stood out front of their table. It was very sweet guys. So he got it. And he turned it around and put it on the table. And was like started flipping through it and he came to like one panel and he just started doing Toucan Sam's voice, like reading it in character out loud, like for me and my wife. Not for us. I think he just was like doing it because these guys love doing it. And he was just like, oh, yes, the Fruit Loops or whatever it was. And Katie and I were just like, this is so cool. So he eventually got his like cell phone out and took a picture of it because he'd never seen it before. So yeah, Fruit Loops, Toucan Sam, signed by Maurice LaMarche.
When we were talking about this when you first got it, I said what really makes this great is this is not just a memory for you, but you created a memory for them.
Yeah,
If they
and as we've said before, like I don't intentionally do this, but it happens sometimes with me.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, they left the show thinking I just signed 5,000 autographs, but I remember this one about Toucan Sam. That's the one that stuck out with them. You
Yeah.
made the day special for them, which made the day even more special for you.
Special tornado. Yeah.
Oh man, I tell you, there is another book that I love that I better see in this list.
Yeah, you will. I waited too damn long in line to not have it on this list.
Seriously. Standing the whole time. I think that was the line that told you to bring a chair from going forward.
That's the one I bought a chair online in line.
Okay.
Oh. I didn't even think of how cool that would sound before I said it, but yeah, on my phone in line. Whatever. I'll tell the story when I get there.
Coming in at my number 8, I have my wrong button. Silver Surfer number 4. The nice battle on the Rainbow Bridge between Thor and Silver Surfer, obviously, in a pretty decent 5.5 off-white to white page. It's not really a key book, but it is such an iconic cover that everybody, people see it and they want it.
Yeah.
And that was another one of the ones that, thankfully, due to the market going down in 2023, that I was able to pull the trigger on. In a down market, it's your opportunity to get some books, not just panic about how much your books have gone down in price, because they'll go back up.
Absolutely.
So
it's fantastic. I love that cover. All right. Number 6, right?
10, 9, 8, 7. 7.
I did that thing again where I don't count the.
Well, actually, I got it written down this year because I learned our lesson.
Mark. Yeah, that was bad last year.
What are we on? Number 32, number on 26. Whatever. It's books. It's books.
I got boom. Omega Man number 3. Love this book.
Awesome.
Let's see. There we go. Yeah, Omega Man number 3, first appearance of Lobo. Silly cover with the woman like spread it out like that, but also awesome with the color and crazy artwork and all that. This is a book that I bought on eBay on Black Friday for $85 raw. And
that was right. Okay.
And sent it to my guy down in Georgia, close to near you. And he's just a miracle worker. And he get it. He got it to a 9.8. And when I pulled this out of the box, I was like, "Whoa! I struck gold!" So, yeah, I love this book. And
yes, and
I think it's going.
You have me staring at it for quite some time.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's just cool. I mean, Lobo doesn't look like that anymore, but it is what it is. He kind of does, but
yeah.
Yeah, love that book.
Yes, the my copy, which I bought straight up as a 9.8 because I was jealous of your copy, and I wanted us to be Omega Men twin brothers. Did make uh, the list on in a different video,
Ah.
and I will say it made it number 16.
Oh wow.
And I did say in the video that I was pretty sure you got yours as a raw and got a 9.8. So
Yeah.
I didn't, but I wanted us each to have, like be Lobo brothers.
Yeah.
Lobo
absolutely. Lobo Bros.
Lobo bros.
Awesome.
So my number 7 is a first appearance of a different character, and it's only a 4.0, but it is a white pager. We've got ASM number 50, first appearance of Kingpin.
Nice.
Spider-Man No More, and he shows up on the cover of 51, but this is a very well-known cover as well. And
Yeah.
Kingpin, thanks to my body frame, I'll just leave it at that, is one of the few characters that I could dress up as. I'm not pulling off Peter Parker, not even Peter B. Parker with the dad belly, but
I know. Like, I wish I had a dad bod. Jeez.
But Kingpin, I could do that. Especially anybody that has a car dealership named Fat Man Cars, I could do that one. So
would you ever have Vincent D'Onofrio sign this?
I would. No, I would rather have him sign 51.
Yeah, I'm with you. There's certain like super keys like this that I don't think I would want signatures on.
Oh, I'm not against D'Onofrio signing the book, but I would want him signing a book that actually has Kingpin on the cover.
True.
That's the whole thing.
Gotcha.
I mean, I was watching a book on eBay earlier where it was Kanan number 1.
Yeah.
In a 9.8, signed by Hayden Christensen, Giancarlo Stanton, and Bo-Katan.
Giancarlo Esposito?
Yeah.
I think
Giancarlo's. Huh?
I think you said a baseball player, Giancarlo Stanton.
Oh, sorry, there's a Yankee player. So Giancarlo Esposito and Katie Sackhoff. And I'm like, and it was a 9.8, and they were asking like $1,300. I went,
not
Hayden
really related.
Yeah, he wasn't in, and Moff Gideon wasn't in, and Bo-Katan wasn't in.
Yeah, but it's Star
Rebels.
Wars, bro.
But
yeah, I'm with you. I have to have some attachment to the cover.
Yeah, I mean the new Droids series. Would you get that signed by Frank Oz because he did Yoda? No.
Yeah, no.
So it was the only book I guess that he could get his hands on for the signing.
Yeah. All right.
Number 6.
Now we're getting to hard to order. I'll go with this one. Well, I'll just say it and then I'll just show it and then I'll tell my story about it. But this is the Tales of the Teen Titans number 44, first appearance of Nightwing, signed by George Perez.
Nice.
The listing said that the guy got this signed at Dragon Con, which was interesting because that's down there. I had gotten a couple books to send to the final CGC George Perez signing, but unfortunately he passed away before he was able to do that. So I wanted to make sure that I had the creator, a co-creator of one of my favorite characters ever, signature, and I thought it was really cool that it was on the book that Nightwing debuts. So, and I thought it was a classy looking signature, didn't detract much from anything, and came back in 9.6, and I pressed this one myself.
So this is a verified signature, or
yes, this is a verified signature that I sent in.
What do you know? What year the Dragon Con was that it was signed in?
I don't remember. It had been a while.
Okay. I mean,
Uh,
they have it every year. I'm just curious if it was one of the ones I was at.
For some reason, '09 is jumping out at me.
Definitely wasn't at that one. I wasn't even in Georgia at that point.
Yeah. So, yeah. Signed George Perez, first Nightwing, is my number 6.
Very, very nice.
Thanks.
My number 6 is a book that I bought raw and got sent in for grading. It was actually the first time I ever submitted books. This was in the lots. Buying it as a raw at that time was in mint condition, was selling for 40, and this person was saying I want 50 for it because I guarantee it's a 9.8. I'm like, well, if you guarantee it, why don't you send it in? The show that I went to was supposed to have CGC and CBCS, and there was this new disease called COVID out, so CGC pulled out at the last second, leaving only CBCS, which was fine with me. I did send it off, and while I was waiting for it to get graded, they did make the who is your master? Where is your master? Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn? Giving my Star Wars Heir to the Empire a 9.8, a really nice bump in price for the $50 that I paid for it.
Yeah, I would say. And that's
So,
like
yes.
that's like a 9.9 in CGC.
Well, I mean, especially with they have a lot of color rub problems on this particular book.
Yeah.
All that blue, just when it was shifting around in the boxes, it did makes a lot of color more rubs on the opposite side. But I got my 9.8. The guy was dead on right that it was a perfect book, and I was very happy with it. And it's a book that's I love Thrawn, so
Yeah.
I'm not selling this.
That's fantastic.
All right. Number 5. We're in the top 5.
This is a book that I got early last year, and I did a lot of research before I went to the show to find a cover that would be appropriate. This is Daredevil 597, signed by Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio. There aren't that many covers with both of them on it. And
Dude, my favorite book.
Yeah, this is Rich's favorite. Yeah, so I waited in line at GalaxyCon, Richmond, for Charlie for about 5 hours because he had to come and go and all these things. He was so nice though, like he was very nice, apologetic, and he signed it and put DD there, so that was cool. And then D'Onofrio was like 2 hours or 2.5 hours. Very quiet guy, a little kind of intimidating a little bit just because of who he plays and because he's a little quiet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he signed it and wrote Kingpin there, and yeah, I don't know, it's a really cool cover, and it's cool to have their shadows there and everything.
Now, I have to ask you, did you watch Echo?
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. I am not going to spoil anything.
Okay.
But I will say that in the Easter eggs and potential and end credit scenes analysis by Screen Crush, he shows that book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And when he showed it on screen, I'm like, it looks awesome, but my friend's is better. It's autographed.
Yeah, I mean, this began my real journey of using appropriate color pens that I wanted to have the aesthetic of, and signature locations and covers. I'm pretty picky about that kind of stuff, and it feels good when it hits right.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, you pick arguably the best books to get autographed. When you see a certain person that you want to get an autograph from, you find the book.
Stop.
There have been people on our channel that are like, I'm going to see if I can get such and such. I'm like, how about
Oh, the
this? And then you like
C-3PO one.
yeah, like the C3PO, like, hey, what about this? I'm like, where the frick did he find that? Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'll take a little pride in that.
All right, let me hit my number 5 here. This is a book that I had. I upgraded, donated the other one to Rob's Fast Stacks of Comics for Comics Curing Cancer, which got auctioned off, and made a couple of $100 towards cancer. Cool. But I always wanted to have a minimum of an 8.0 and white lettering. Now, if you know the comic books, you know which one I'm talking about. We got Captain America number 100, and I was able to get an 8.5. And what's really important on this is it's considered a printing error, but the borders around the words Captain and America, the big letters there, are in white. In the correct printing, they're yellow, and I don't like the yellow at all. I like the way it looks with the whites. The yellow just looks like smoker's teeth. I don't like it. So,
It is an odd choice. It's not like there's much other yellow there.
it's the same yellow as Cap in his own magazine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Last on the top.
Yeah, it's almost like a
So
stain color.
yeah, and the clean, because Captain America is like, he's the one that can lift Thor's hammer. He's worthy. He's a good person, good heart. To see whites, I thought looked better, and I got lucky, and I got one right where I wanted it, right at the time when I had some money, and right when the prices were coming down. So I pulled the trigger, and I got the book that I always wanted to have in my collection. And this is my month book, April of 1968. Yes, I know it came out earlier, but that's what it actually says, 468.
Awesome. That's a cool book. Oh, this is hard. All right, I'll go with this one.
We're at number 4.
I have 3 books left. Right?
I have 4 books left.
I did Ratchet and Clank, Green Lantern, Fruit Loops. Oh, you're right. My fault.
Just so you have 4 left?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
All right. This is another fun story. I
love these.
I hadn't. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. John Rhys Davies was a late addition to the convention that I went to.
Mm-hmm.
So I just tried to find. This is the first Indiana Jones in the comic books in general, but it was the Lost Ark. So Sala was in that movie. I wanted to make sure that was the right one. And I had this idea brewing in my head. My favorite part is when Indiana Jones throws up the date and Sala catches it and he says, bad dates. Because the monkey had eaten the poison on the dates. And I don't know, it's like a classic Hollywood line for me that I really liked. So I asked if he would write that, and he didn't write it exactly, but he wrote, which is fine. He wrote John Rhys Davies, Sala, avoid bad dates. There.
That's fine too. And he put bad dates in quotation marks.
Yeah. So yeah, it was super cool. I got to tell you, if you have a chance to meet John Rhys Davies, it's a long line, but that's because he will spend a good 3 minutes with you. And you know, I've shown, you can look at the previous videos where I covered GalaxyCon. He was taking so many pictures with us, and he was like kissing my wife on the cheek and tickling both of us to make us both smile, and it was so fun and so awesome. And it's cool when they make it special for you, and it's not something we're gonna forget. Dude,
when you were that night, that day or that night or that weekend or whatever, when you were telling me and sending me the pictures and everything, you were beaming. It felt like I just met one of your, this wasn't just an actor to you. This is like someone you really, really wanted to meet.
Yeah.
And they say never meet your heroes. This is the complete opposite. You were beaming, and I was just so happy for you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I've only ever had two experiences, never bad. So,
okay.
That's pretty good.
When I was switching tabs, I accidentally clicked on my camera. Your head was turned. So if you paid attention, you probably already saw my number 4. I apologize, but it was one that, they saw it. You didn't. The whole world's ahead of you right now. So
yeah.
It's one of the ones that I did pull with my income tax return last year. I was able to get a FF number 48.
Boom.
First full appearance of first full appearance of Silver Surfer, first appearance of Galactus and Cameo, and a really decent 5.5 off-white page.
Yeah.
So I was looking at trying to get something around like a 2 or a 3, because that's where the grades are of my number 50 and 49. But this one, when it was from Canada, and a lot of times people don't spend top dollar when they're buying from another country because they're worried about something happening in the shipping or something. Who knows? So I'll if I'm buying with PayPal protection, I'll take the chance and save a few $100.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll take the time to convert dollars if I'm making like an offer or something, because sometimes it doesn't tell you.
That was an actual auction on eBay, which usually tells you. So,
all right, number 3.
Absolutely.
I just got this one back, but I submitted it last year, so I'm counting it.
Okay.
This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 4, second print from 1987, signed by Kevin Eastman in pink, baby.
Nice.
There we go.
Sorry.
I love this cover because it was the cover of the Nintendo game that I had as well.
I was staring at the screen so much I forgot to click to put you on a big tab. That's how mesmerized your book has me.
Yeah. And I don't know. I saw this was another one that I saw on eBay for sale forever ago. And I was like, dude, I love that pink on there. I think it popped so nice. So, and I've had this book for a long time, and I finally got the chance to have him sign it. So, yeah, super cool book.
Awesome. I don't have anything signed by Eastman. That's a signature that I'm sorely lacking in my collection.
He's not too hard to find. He's pretty mobile in the scene, so I bet you could do it if you really wanted to.
I could, but you're just better at it than me. So, so my number 3 is, simply put, the only book that's acceptable to have a green label.
Yeah. Yes.
It's when it's missing that good old fashioned Marvel value stamp. Hulk 181 in a 3.5 green label. Now, yes, like I said, this is lower in value than the FF48 before it, but like I said, it's what it's worth to me. I would grab this if I was running out of the house before I grabbed the FF48, because it's Wolverine. I like Wolverine more than I like the Fantastic Four.
Fair. Yeah.
So, this was the last of the books that big books that I picked up in 2023. And it's my 180 is also missing the value stamp. And I think my 182 has been chewed by rats. I'm not sure. So that one didn't even make the top.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that one. Had like a bullet hole in it or something.
Yeah. So, but This one actually, if I were to like tilt the camera down so you couldn't see the green label, and you couldn't see the grade, it looks really nice.
It does, for sure. I mean, that's iconic.
Yeah, the idea is I put it on the wall and I try to angle the glare of the light just enough that you can't see. The green label looks blue. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
we're in the top two.
All right.
Fudge.
This is Pinky in the Brain #1 from 1996, the first Pinky in the Brain in comics, signed by Rob Paulson and Maurice LaMarche. Rob Paulson signed it his name. He wrote Pinky, and he wrote the word Narf. And then Rob Paulson Maurice LaMarche wrote yes, the brain, and his signature. There wasn't a great color choice for this book, so I kind of just let them choose. But these guys are just some of the sweetest guys ever working in the industry, and I grew up listening to their voices constantly, and it's awesome to me. I love it.
Did they happen to be dressed in drag for the show?
They were not. What it
that would
said,
have been an added bonus,
trust me, Pinky, this is what it takes to be big in comics, and they're stuffing bras with, making themselves big bosom.
What year was this comic book?
1996.
So right about the same time that every comic book character, Power Girl, and everybody. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So, yeah, super cool guys. They're like best friends. They're always posting together on social media and stuff. So,
Last
My
question:
number-
what was the publisher of that book?
it's a Warner Brothers property, so it's DC.
Okay. So they were kind of poking fun at themselves as well.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh,
right.
nice. Number 2. This is a book that I got in trouble. Then I sold it. I got in more trouble. I bought it back at a higher grade, and I did not get in trouble. But I will get in trouble if it ever leaves the collection, because it means not just to me, but also to Mrs. Ohana. The last 2 books here on this list are both on loan from the Mrs. Ohana collection, and we greatly appreciate her supporting the channel. And people have said, yeah, right, sure, they're her books. Dude, if I'm not allowed to sell it and she is, it's her book. Right?
There you go.
So we have Clone Wars #1, first appearance of Ahsoka Tano in a 9.6. And I absolutely adore Ahsoka / Ashley Eckstein. One of my 4 signed Funkos. I only have 4. One of them is, and my most cherished is Ahsoka Tano, signed by Ashley Eckstein. Even more than my William Shatner. I'm sorry, I love it. I love the character, how she grew in the series, how it was a character that was created by Filoni to be hated for very specific reasons that she would grow out of and then be loved by the fandom. And this is one of my favorite books, not just in my collection, but just favorite books in the comic book world.
That's awesome. Very cool. Okay, here it is.
Number 1.
Number one.
Click the correct tab. There we go.
This is Batman Arkham Knight #1. Nothing particularly awesome about the nothing particularly key about the book, other than it was a witness signature of Kevin Conroy.
That's another book, another signature that those prices still haven't come down.
Yeah. He passed away before I really started getting on this, circuit of getting signatures.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I grew up with the man, and a lot of us did up until a few years ago when he stopped playing Batman. So, yeah, just a really nice guy. And I was able to get this pre-slabbed, witnessed off eBay, I think for $250 or something like that. I didn't really care about the grade. I mean, I wanted it to be decent, but you know, it's more about the signature there.
Not just who signed it, but how good that signature does look on that book too.
Yeah, it's a nice signature, and
It's right
he
in
did,
the whites,
yeah,
perfect.
yeah, and he did do the voice of in the game, the Arkham games as well. So it was
Mhm.
apropos, and yeah, love the guy, Kevin Conroy.
I mean, a lot of times when people pass away, like my Neil Adams book that I bought when I was drunk, uh,
Yeah,
the books go through the roof, and then over time they slowly return back down to Kevin Conroy's signature is still just about the same price as it was when he passed away. He's
yeah,
so loved by everybody
yeah, yeah,
and so missed.
yeah.
Great book, great book. Um, yeah, and if you ever and look, you know, as much as I love that book, I do have to say, if you ever decide to sell the Daredevil,
You
I
number
got
one.
dibs. I
Yeah,
got dibs.
absolutely.
I won't even haggle a price, man. You tell me, I got it.
All right.
So, all right. So coming in at number one, if you know my collection and you know the fact that I have to answer to Mrs. Ohana, then you know what the number one book is. The funny part is that Rob at Rob's Fat Sack of Comics just got a copy in exactly the same grade. So he's really it's really cool that we have like that connection there too.
Yeah.
But this is a book that I picked up from a coworker, raw. Uh, I did the pressing on it myself. I tried to make sure we thought it was about a 3, and it came back a 5.5, which really made me happy. And I gave it as a present because my wife's favorite character is Ghost Rider. And this was the Marvel Spotlight on the Ghost Rider number 5, first appearance of the Ghost Rider himself from 1972, I believe that is.
Nice.
And I gave this to her on a day where she had one of her worst days ever at work. I didn't plan it this way,
Yeah.
but it kind of cheered her up a little bit. But yeah, she does really like this book. I've had it at shows just as like a decoration, not for sale.
Yeah.
And people just like, well, how much you want for it? How much you want for it? How much you want for it? And she's like, no, it's not for sale. I'm like, what if they offer you double value and you can go buy a higher grade? She said, no, it's not for sale. I'm like, you really don't understand how the system works here, but okay. But yeah, it's what she likes, and that's the whole thing about comics is you collect what you like. It can never go wrong. I have to remember that this is a hobby, not, you know, if I want just for investment and I don't care about it, I'll go buy stocks, you know?
Yeah. That's true.
You know, if I have shares of Apple or Tesla, I'm not going to care about them. I'm not going to look at them and go, ooh.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, first appearance of Ghost Rider or a signature from your idol that you meet, that's more than just the monetary value of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that is our top 10 of each for 2023. And it's not just, you know, what we purchased, just at the end of 2023, this is our collection.
Right. Right.
On a spot, I finally get out of the habit, and now you're leaving the channel.
So this is going to be the last time that you'll regularly see me on the channel, at least for a while. I've had a lot of things come up with my health and, you know, my family. When something like that happens, you kind of get a new perspective on life, and my kids are growing up as well, and like they're staying up later, and I'm having to do more juggling with priorities of things. So I'm not going to be a regular contributor on Team Ohana anymore. But I love you guys. Rich, I love you. I know we talked about this prior, but yeah, I mean, I've learned so much from you and from other people that we've come across in the channel. I mean, we've had the opportunity to we made a couple of comic books, you know,
Yeah.
My name is on a slab. That's super cool. So
Yeah, we
thank
each have one that I signed and you signed, so we're part
yeah,
of each other now forever.
yeah. And I regularly chat with somebody in Brazil and Wisconsin and New York and
The
Indiana.
name, the name Timo Hana, the
Yeah,
logo, these were all things we came up with together.
yeah.
Um, I have to renew the LLC by April, which I'll do.
Um, thank you for letting me message you randomly out of the blue and join up and help out.
No, that was, I still remember when you first messaged, hey, are you looking for an editor? And my first thought was, how bad is my editing?
Yeah,
And I see what you do and I see what I do and how fast you do it and how slow I do it. And I'm like, yeah, my editing's pretty bad. Which means, by the way, we are going back to bad editing. Sorry. I'll do the best I can.
well, I think StreamYard will help as well with that
Mm.
for you. So, um, yeah,
So you are welcome back as a guest, as a permanent, as anything you want at any time. I said this before, and I'm just saying it so there's a digital record of it out there in the world. If 6 months, if 2 days, if 12 years, whatever, you say, hey, I want to be back on the channel all the time, then yes,
I appreciate
because
that.
this channel would not be what it is, not just without the coconuts, but without you.
Oh,
This channel experienced tremendous growth with your inputs, your editing, your wit, your tempering of my mouth, which is tough, and I got to give you credit for it. Yeah, I'm looking for somebody now to help join and keep, like Rich, like kick me under the table digitally.
Yeah.
So, no, you can't eat popcorn, Rich. Don't do it.
yeah.
But you have to
So,
take care of your health. And the other day when you missed a show, you said your kids had strep. I said, what? After I got the message from you, I went and I told my wife. I said, yeah, Greg's not gonna be able to do the show tonight. His kids have strep, and she just looked at me and she goes, "Oh, so he's being a dad? Yeah, it happens." I'm like, yeah, so
yeah. Well,
we
and
we understood.
when one gets one, always the other one gets one because they don't give a shit about straws. They share drinks, even though I've told them 1,000 times you can't. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, we did the same thing when we were kids.
Yeah,
So
I know. Yeah. I've often asked myself, how did humanity make it this long raising kids? So,
because they didn't have Thanos. Yeah, everybody has one kid. Yeah,
yeah,
there is no strep in China. It's one kid each. So
yeah, true.
they
So
just eat bats.
wait till I'm gone first, and then you can start doing this stuff.
Hey, look, you got to create memories for all those people that got autographs. I got to create one for you. Okay.
Yeah, fair. But yes, thank
I'm
you.
gonna miss you. Though.
I'll still be, on Instagram or Messenger if anybody wants to message with me or whatever. And
Make sure that you message him on the BitPerler.
yeah, that's that name.
Yep.
Is my account.
I mean, if
But
you
yeah.
message on Timo Hana, I'm going to make sure that Greg still has access to it. But once you read a message, it doesn't flag as a new message anymore. So, Greg, if he clicked on it, I wouldn't see it. So if it's
Right.
for Greg, just say, hey, please make sure Greg sees this.
Yeah.
And I'll say, hey, log on and check the 2 messages that are currently on Instagram that are for you.
Oh, right now?
Yes, right now.
Okay. I shall check them.
Okay.
But yeah,
All right.
thank you, Rich, for being ride or die. when we were in the heydays of our reactions and stuff. You're like,
Oh,
fuck it, we'll stay up all night and watch or whatever.
how'd they do? We got 6 views. I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah. Eventually you got to that. But
And copyright struck 14 times.
but like you said, you got a friend in Virginia here, and I got a friend in Georgia there. So
Looking forward to the day when someday when we'll be live from Georgia again.
yeah. One day.
All right, buddy. It has been an absolute pleasure, not just having you on the channel, but getting to meet you, getting to know you, and calling you a friend.
Ditto. Thank you. And good evening.
Mahalo, everybody.